Good morning. Happy Thursday to everybody. I hope everybody has had a good week so far. Hopefully you've all had a good week so far. It's been a good week. We've had a productive week here on our lives. We've had some lots of fun. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I had to get me another cup of coffee. A couple minutes late. Sorry about that. Yesterday's live was a lot of fun, guys. That was fun. We accomplished, I have to say, making these was kind of fun. We'll have to get that, coffee, right? And then we got this one made. Very fun. Morning, Lise. Morning, Cynthia. Good morning, Cassie. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Bessie. Happy Thursday to everybody. Happy Thursday to everybody. So we're going to have some fun today. We are going to make two different quilt squares. I'm going to show y'all how to do two. I'm going to show you how to do two different ones. So my stack of stuff that we're making is accumulating here. I'm either going to have a craft show or something here. So, but holidays are coming up. So maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe that's a good thing. Let me get some squares out. I think I have it. Let me see, because that one, I think I have. Because like I said, we're going to do two different squares here. Let's see if I have enough. That works. We're going to use those two, and then we're going to use let's see what we got here. Thinking we're going to go way opposites here. We're going to go way opposites here. And so we're going to do the one quilt square first. We're going to do two of each. We'll do two. My glasses are falling down here. We're going to do two of each. That way you guys can see how to do those. So what we're going to do, make sure I'm going to let a couple more people join here before we get started. Get a couple more drinks of your coffee. How's your week been? How's everybody's week been? Hopefully everybody's week has gone good. I'm hoping everybody's week's gone good. That I do know. That I do. Good morning, Jen. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm letting everybody join. Like I said, we're going to do two quilt squares today. I'm going to show y'all how to do two different ones. First one we're going to do, you need, good morning, good morning. First one we're going to do is you need some 10-inch squares. You need some 10-inch squares, and you need one of like one color and then one of another color. And we're kind of do this the same way, because I know I had showed you guys how to do that quilt square where you sewed it all the way together, and then you took and with a pair of, you pulled the fabrics apart, and then you kind of snipped across, which we can show you that one again. We can show you that one again. So, but what we're going to do today is we're going to kind of do the same thing, but we're going to do it just a little bit different. So, but what we're going to do is, I think these two will go together good. I think these two go together good. So we're going to take this piece of fabric. We're going to take this piece of fabric. Good morning, Sue. Good morning. So we're going to take these two right here, and we're going to sandwich these together. So we're going to sandwich these together like this. And we're going to go do the same thing that we did on the other one. So we're going to take, and we're going to actually sew all the way around again. We're going to sew all the way around again. So, but we're going to do two of them. We're going to do two of these squares. So we're going to take another one like this, another one like this, and we are going to sandwich these together. So like I said, you need two 10-inch squares, two different ones, two different fabrics on there, just completely opposite. I mean, anything coordinated. I mean, you could do the same fabrics, doesn't matter, however you want to do it, however you want to do that. So let's take these and we'll go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew all the way around these. Once we get sewed all the way around, get sewed. Sometimes I say some words, I'm like, I wonder about myself. I'll tell you, sewed. Is that a word? Sewed? We're going to sewed. Quick comment. I got new canisters for my kitchen. The new ones don't fit back in my cabinets. What a bummer. That is a bummer, Miss Cynthia. That doesn't work out very well. I still like the Tupperware, y'all. I still like the Tupperware ones, and that's kind of what I use. I still have Tupperware, y'all. I like the Tupperware. All right. We're going over to the sewing machine, y'all. We are going to... Oh, we got to switch out that foot, because yesterday we were quilting. Did y'all have fun yesterday? What'd you think about yesterday's live? Let me grab my chair. Did y'all like the quilting yesterday? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, thank you. I think yesterday we were actually able to get all that done, and I was kind of shocked. So. But it was a lot of fun. Oh no, Sue, I hope you're okay. Sending you lots of good vibes. Y'all, let's send Miss Sue some good vibes. That way she gets better. We want her to get better. I have, Sue, I reposted all my videos on YT. If you take it easy and go watch some of the videos, you'll like them. Oh, well, thank you. I thank you. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better today. Well, we're sending you lots of good vibes there. We're sending you lots of good vibes. Yes, most definitely. Okay, so I'm going to put my foot back on. Good morning, Miss Donna. How are you this morning? So we're going to I'm going to turn this here. We're going to take this other foot off. Listen, I use a screwdriver just to give it just a little bit of a tight, just a little bit. You don't want to tighten it really tight on there, but you just want to give it that snug. Get it on there a little bit snug. So we're going to take this just, like I said, just snug, because finger tight's just not enough. So just snug, just a little bit, not too much. So now what we're going to do, like I said, I have the two pieces here sandwich, and I'm gonna sew all the way around. We're gonna do this sewing all the way around again. We're gonna close this thing up. But that's okay. When we get it all closed up, turn it here. And this is kind of the same pattern that I used on Amy's quilt. We did Amy's quilt. Anytime anybody orders a quilt, I usually do, I'll make that quilt on our lives. That way they actually get to see the whole process of the quilt being made. So, makes it kind of fun for them. They also get to see, be a choice of, be like, hey, can we do it this way? Because I like you to get to choose what you do on your piece of fabric. So the one piece of fabric's a little bit bigger than the top, but that's okay. Okay, so we're going to cut that one. So what we're doing is, so we're sew all the way around, and then we're going to take it back. You're like, how is this going to work? Thanks for the follow, Chrissy. I appreciate it. So once you get it all sewed around, we're going to take it back to the cutting mat. But let's go ahead and sew around both of these. Like I said, these are 2 10-inch squares, sewing all the way around. So we get it all sewed around here. These were pre-cut 10-inch squares, and I think the bottom ones are a little bit bigger than the 10-inch, so turn here. Lisa, great job yesterday, by the way. You guys did a great job, so I wanted to let you know. Okay, so we're sewing these completely all the way, or closing it completely up. Now you're sitting there going, wait a minute, why are we sewing these completely up? So let's go back. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thank you for the follows. Y'all are awesome. Y'all, I am so close to 5,000. I am so excited. I am excited. I have so many follows. Y'all are just all fun, and I love having fun with y'all in the morning and drinking coffee. Need more coffee. Good morning, Maddie. How you doing? Okay, so we had two 10-inch squares. You sandwiched those two 10-inch squares together, and then you completely sewed all the way around them. Then you're like, well, what is that going to do for us? Let me show you. Let me show you, ma'ams. Ma'ams, sirs, how about everybody? So what we're going to do is I'm going to lay this out on the cutting mat here. So we've stitched all the way around here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab a handy-dandy ruler, our handy-dandy ruler, and we're going to go corner to corner. We're going to go corner to corner. You're going to get that rotary cutter out, and you're going to cut all the way across. We're going to cut all the way across. Then we're going to turn it. We're going to do the same thing on this one. I love my rotary mat, y'all. I love this rotary mat. This is a Martelli rotary mat, but there's all kinds of rotary mats out there. So we're going to go that one like that. Before I show y'all, we're going to cut the other one. Before I show y'all, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to cut both of them here, y'all. I'm going to cut both of them. I love this. Cynthia, I've had this mat since early 2000s. I love this mat. I like that joke. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, I need a new blade. Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I have been sitting there saying I'm going to do a new blade, and I keep forgetting. And thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me. We're going to do a new blade, guys. We are going to do a new blade. That way we don't have that. That way we don't have that. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. So we get this back in there. I think I've been saying that for the last couple weeks. Did you know that most rotary cutters are made so that you can switch blade to use left or right hand? I did not know that. I did not know that. I did not know that. Can you resharpen them? I think they have, well, I used to have one. I don't know what I did with it. A sharpener for that. So good morning. Good morning. Okay. Let's try this again. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling me, because I've been sitting there saying that for a couple weeks now. So I've been sitting there saying that for a couple weeks. So we have our two 10-inch squares. Good morning. Good morning. Our two 10-inch squares, two different ones. And then what we're going to do is we've sewed them. We sewed them all the way around all four corners. So yeah, I had one. I don't know. It didn't work very well for me. So I kind of quit using it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go corner to corner and cut. Oh my gosh, that felt so good. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Mark. Oh my gosh. It's amazing what a new blade will make you feel like. That was so smooth. Woo! Ah, yep. Like butter. Yes, like butter. Thank you. Like butter. Like a butter. I'm going to turn this iron on. So let me move my cutting mat. That was a fulfilling. That was a fulfilling, I'll tell you. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to move our quilt squares we made earlier. So I'm going to move y'all down like this. Okay. So here is the square that we just did. So we sewed these together. So check this out, guys. We're going to fold these out. You now have, fun thing is, and we can make this any way we want it here. So I'm going to fold these out. Need to go down a little bit further here. I'm going to move this out. Here we go. Is that better? So thinking what we'll do, because you're going to fold all these out, we'll fold them out and iron them, and then we can decide how we're going to piece these together. We'll decide how we're going to piece them together, guys. Because we can do so many different things here with these. Fold these out. Ooh, I got to turn that fan on. Need some fan. Okay. Thanks for the follow. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Okay. So we're going to press these right quick. Just press these down. Yeah. Move the other ones. Get that one pressed. Move this one over here. Get this one pressed. And we're going to lay them out, and we're going to see how we're going to sew these together. We're going to lay them out and see how we're going to sew these together here. Thanks for joining this morning. I appreciate it. You guys are all awesome. I've had so much fun with y'all. I've had so much fun with y'all. Okay, so now we have these squares, but you have so many options. So, like I said, this was 2 10-inch squares. So what we can do, let's do this. We're going to lay this one that way. We're going to take, I don't know, it's like so many options here. That one, and that one. What about this? So that's an option, right? That's an option. It is early. It is early. It's 4:30 here this morning, y'all. It's 4:30 here. So we can do it this way, but we can change it up. Like I said, we can change it up. So we can go this way, turn that one that way, turn this one this way. We could do it this way. Make it go that way. Yeah, it's totally versatile. 752 in Tennessee. Isn't that cool? Very cool. So we could go that way, or we could also do this. We could also do this here. Turn it this way. And then we go that way. So, I don't know, guys. I'm kind of thinking if we go, because we could totally do this too. There's so many. I think 1 or 2. Because this is kind of cool too. You like the first style? The first style was, hold on, I gotta lay it back down here. Because I'm letting y'all choose. I'm letting y'all choose which way we go here. Oh my gosh, guys. Look what I just did. Ah! What about that one? Oh my gosh. Was that one not fun? I know, I liked number 1 till I saw this one too. Yeah, okay, let's sew this one together. Okay. We're gonna do, well, you know what? We could do one of each. We have 2 squares. We have 2 squares. So let's do this. I'm gonna fold this one, and I'm gonna pin the top of it. That way we remember where to sew. I'll clip the top. We're gonna clip the top. The pinwheel, yes. Good morning, Vilma. How are you? Good morning. Okay, so we're gonna pin the top of this one so we remember where to sew it. So we're gonna pin this one. Okay, and I'm gonna put a clip on the side. That way we remember what side to sew it to, because if I sew it to the wrong side, we'd be in trouble there. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. Okay, so let's lay that other one out so we can sew both of these. That way we can sew both of these here. We'll press these two. Get that one pressed. Because we'll just do one of each. Awesome! Awesome, awesome. Okay. Get this one going. I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is the other way we wanted it to go. So I'm going to lay it out and then you guys tell me if that was the way we wanted it to go. Just to make sure. Because I'm letting y'all choose. Y'all get to choose on this one. Oh, man, it's been a busy week this week. Wontons. I want wontons. Wontons say yummy. I like to use the wontons with, you take cream cheese, bacon bits, and I use the jalapeno cream cheese. This is the other one we wanted, right? Okay, just making sure, because I'm like, I don't remember. I just want to make sure. So this is a wool mat. This is one of those wool mats. It's a pressing mat. So you can get them on Amazon. Funny thing, funny story. I needed a, what did I need? I was ordering something. I forget what it was. And somehow or another, they accidentally sent me this from Amazon. And I sent them a message. I'm like, y'all, you sent me this and I didn't order this. And they're like, and sometimes they'll do that. They're like, oh, just keep it. It's okay. We'll send you the right thing. And I'm like, you don't want this back? And they're like, no. So I started using this. Oh my gosh. Once you press on one of these, oh my gosh, it's a game changer, y'all. It is totally, totally a game changer. Okay, so I'm going to clip these. And then, like I said, I put one clip on the other side. That way we remember which sides we're joining together. What side we're joining together. Okay, so we're going to go sew these and sew the other ones. We might just turn them into hot pads today, y'all. We'll make more hot pads. I always make hot pads. I'm always making something. It was fate. It was meant for me to have. I was like, oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. Not a problem. Okay, back to the sewing machine, y'all. Y'all keep going on walkabout with me. So I live in a fifth wheel. So needless to say, beans, I would live in a fifth wheel. I have a small space. I have a small space. Do you want to see something funny, though? I'm going to show y'all something funny right quick. I'm going to flip this camera. So I have a bed up there that lowers down. It's where I have fabric. It's where I have fabric. It's kind of funny, right? Kind of funny. Kind of funny. Flip that camera back. Okay. No, you never have enough hot pads. You never have enough hot pads. And if I do a craft show, which I'm thinking about doing because y'all, I'm accumulating a lot of stuff doing these lives with y'all and I'm having lots of fun, but I don't have room for all these things. So we're going to have to do something with them. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew these up. We'll get these all sewed up here. Sewed. We're going to go that way. On these clips, just as a reminder on these clips, you have like a curved side on the clip and then you have a flat side on the clip. Make sure the side that's on your sewing machine is that flat side. That way it kind of scrolls pretty easily there for you. So then take that clip off. this one. And I'm going to sew both these at the same time here, y'all. Okay, here we go. Last side. And y'all, I like to have a piece of fabric that I sew on. I like to have a piece of fabric that I just sew on to start and stop. Okay, so these two right here go together. So we're gonna go here, those two go together, and then these two go together. And like I said, I had clips on one side that I was sewing. And then sometimes after you're sewing, you're like, oh my gosh, which two sides go together? That's why I add a little clip on that side. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take that clip off, top side there. Take this clip off. So this is gonna go this way. That way you remember which two sides go together there, y'all. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sandwich these together. When you do that, kind of cut off the edge there. Cut those off there. So we're gonna center that up there. And then we're gonna sew right across here. Good morning, good morning. How we all doing this morning? We are having fun making quilt squares this morning, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna show y'all a couple different quilt squares to make this morning. And I have a fun one that's like my go-to. If you have a quick, sometimes I can't say things. If you have a quick quilt that you need to, we'll show it again, Miss Vilma. We'll show it again, Miss Vilma. If you have a quick quilt that you need to put together, any of these squares that we're doing this morning, quilt squares, yes. Any of these squares that we're doing this morning, you can whip up a quilt really quick with these. So let's go ahead and get these sewed together. I said these were made by two 10-inch blocks, y'all. These were made by two 10-inch blocks, which is kind of cool. We're making two different ones, and we put together, and it had, you had, what we have, like 4 different options that we could do here. 4 different options that we could do on here, which was kind of cool. Which was kind of cool there. We'll get these all sewed together, and then we'll go back to the sewing machine, or the sewing machine, back to the cutting mat, and we'll press these, get these all pressed. Okay. So I'm just gonna, we're not gonna look at it yet. I'm just gonna throw it over to the pressing mat, and we're gonna do this one. So again, we had clip. Thank you, Lisa. You have a good day. I'll talk to you later. So we had clips on this side that we sewed this. So I put 2 clips, but I need to know which side to be able to piece those together. So I put 1 clip on that side that I know where it's going to piece back together. That way we know where it's at. Because sometimes it gets mixed up and you're like, shoot, which sides went together? I don't remember. It'll be like when I sewed those, the bear legs on upside down. That was bad. That was bad. But, you know, hey, that's part of lives. That's part of lives is you're like, well, that's part of what happens when you're sewing. Sometimes that's what seam rippers were made for. Sometimes you end up sewing them on crazy. So that's all right. Okay. So we're going to go this way. Get these all stitched up. Turn you back this way. I got to get my husband to fix my holder for my phone because that thing is like really, really loose. Really, really loose there. All right, we'll get this one sewed. And then we'll go press these. We'll see what these end up looking like because I think they're going to be cool. I think they're going to be cool. All right, let's go back this way. We'll go back this way. Thanks for hanging out this morning, y'all. Thanks for all the follows. Thanks for all the likes. You guys are awesome. And if you guys are new to me, I am on Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Arizona time, which is Mountain Standard Time. So it's currently 5 o'clock here, y'all. I've been up since 1:30. I've been up since 1:30. You're like, are you crazy? Yep, I am. Like, yep, that's all right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to press these. Trying to decide. So we're going to push these down because check that out, guys. Check that out. Did that not turn out cool? So we'll do this again. We'll do another set of these because we have time. We have time. So we'll do another set of these. And then we will do the other one. Like I said, I have 2 different quilt squares I'm going to show y'all this morning. Turn my iron back on. Get your coffee out. Get your coffee out. All right. I like to use the best press. The best press makes it kind of nice. Like I said, so let's see what this one looks like. Why the iron's heating up here. Heating and man, those words, y'all. Heating up. Why is it? Iron's heating up for us, y'all. Okay. So 2 10-inch squares, y'all. We did 2 10-inch squares and we ended up with 2 different squares. Is that not cool? And I think we came up with 4 different options when we started turning those squares around, which is the coolest thing, right? This is the coolest thing. You're like, oh my gosh, we could totally do this. And we could totally take and do like this square, that square, and do a whole quilt. You know, just kind of go 1 for 1 there. So, I don't know. So many options. All right, let's get this pressed. Get this one pressed, and then we will press this other one, and we'll do this again. We'll do this again. That way you guys can see this process, because I want you to be able to make these. I want you to be able to make these. Get this all pressed, and it looks so pretty once you get it pressed. It looks so pretty once you get it pressed. That is a cool block. That is a cool block. All right, so let's go ahead and press this one. Thanks for the follow, Brittany. Thank you all for the follows. I appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out with me in the morning. Thanks for hanging out. And just as a FYI, if you are new to me, I do repost my lives to my YT page. If you click the link in the bio, you'll be able to see my YT page. Good morning, cuz. Love you. You are awesome, Miss Candy. How is Miss Candy this morning? Miss Candy is my cousin from Texas. Funny thing is, I've yet to meet her, but her and I are going to meet one of these days, cuz we've got to meet. I'm going to come hang out with you. I want to see your grandbabies. You've got the cutest grandbabies. So we are pressing this one. I think I take after Grandma Inez, Miss Candy. I think I'm addicted to sewing. I think that's all there is to it. Okay. So we've officially made... You're welcome, Miss Candy. You are awesome. We've officially made 2 quilt squares. Is this cool? It is in the blood, Miss Candy. You are right. So we have done this quilt square. And then we did this quilt square. How fun is that? And both of them were done with 2 10-inch squares. So let's do this again. Shall we do this again? We're going to do this again. Let me find. We'll do 2 more. You guys want to do 2 more? We'll do 2 more. And then good morning, Miss Amy. Does it matter which way the seams are when you press them? You know, sometimes I press them as long as it lays flat. I'm not a particular person on which way the seams lay. So our next square that we do, though, there is a way that we have to press those seams. So you have to press those seams open on the next quilt square we do. So some of them, yes, some of them, no. So, okay, we'll do it again. We're going to do 2 more. We'll do 2 more. So these are kind of cool. We'll do 2 more. Let me grab. Let's see if we can have some fun. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to open up. Ooh. Y'all, I had some fun fabric that I got the other day. Let's get... Do we want to do 2 different ones? So I'm going to grab that one. That's a fun print. That is a fun print. So we did, let's grab, ooh, that's another fun print. So we're gonna do that one. And then I think we're gonna coordinate these with white. I think white is gonna go good with these. It's gonna make them pop. I think it's gonna make them pop here. Because I got some 10-inch white squares. So we're gonna do, okay. So you need 2 10-inch squares. And you want them kind of opposite of the other ones. So we're gonna do, oh, that's 2 pieces there. That'd been bad. So we have this 10-inch square, and you have this 10-inch square. You're gonna sandwich them right sides together. You wanna make sure they're right sides together. So you sandwich these right sides together, and then what we'll do is we'll go to the sewing machine and you're gonna sew all the way around these. You wanna make sure that they're sandwiched together. So then we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for these guys. This is some fun fabric. This is some fun fabric. So again, we're sandwiching these together. I'm using my front as your table here. This is kind of funny. Anyways, so we are sandwiching these together. Thanks for the follow. So right sides together on these, and then we're gonna just take and we're gonna sew all the way around here, y'all. So we're gonna sew all the way around here, and then we'll come back to the cutting table and we'll see what these turn into, because this is so much fun. These are so much fun, y'all. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. Okay, so let's go back to the sewing table, and we're gonna stitch these up. We are going to stitch these up. Okay. So we have, I'm in love with this fabric. Oh my gosh. You have to see the back side. Even the back side looks cool. So like I said, we're going to stitch all the way around all 4 corners. And I just do the width of the foot. I just do the width of the foot for sewing on it. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started here, guys. So we're going to do the width of the foot here. Like I said, I just use the button to start and stop my my sewing on my machine, because I really don't have room for the foot pedal, and I don't know, I just like this. We're going to go back just one more step there. So we're going to come here. Like I said, I'm going to use the width of the foot to sew around this. This is 2 10-inch squares that we are sewing together here. 2 10-inch squares. Go one more stitch there. Come back down. We're going to close it up. We're going to close this all the way up. We're going to sew all 4 sides, all closed. Now you know you're sitting there thinking, it's like, wait a minute. We're sewing all 4 sides closed? That's not going to work very well. It will work, I promise. I promise. So then we're gonna sew this 4th side up. So then I'm gonna throw that over to the cutting table, and we're gonna do the same thing with this one. Same thing with this one. So we have 2 pieces of fabric, 2 10-inch squares, right sides together on these 10-inch squares. And then we're going to just take on these 2 10-inch squares sandwiched together. I'm loving this fabric, y'all. We're going to sew all the way around on all 4 sides. Sew all the way around on all 4 sides here. Come back this way. Come down all 4 sides. And I'm just using the width of the foot for the stitch length. Or not the stitch length, but the size. So, all right. So we're going to go down this side, hot flashes, come down this side, turn it here. Turn it, All right, here comes down the last side. So like I said, we're sewing up all 4 sides on this 10-inch square here. You want to sew all 4 sides together. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that once we get it back over to the cutting table, because you're sitting there thinking, I was like, wait a minute. We sewed all 4 sides together. How are we going to see the fabric? Well, there's a little trick. There's a little trick to it. I'm going to take my clips too, because we're going to need these clips again. We're going to need these clips again here. So we'll go back to the sewing table. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thank you for the follows. So what we've done is we've sewed 2 10-inch squares together. Let me put you back up here. We've sewed 2 10-inch squares together. So we have them all sandwiched all together. So what are we going to do? Well, this is where the trick comes into play. And y'all, we just figured out, I like figuring these out with you guys. And thanks to Mr. Mark, we put in another blade. Thank you for reminding me. So we're going to take these down here, and we're going to go down here on my cutting mat. We're going to go down here on my cutting mat here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take your ruler, and you're going to go from one corner to the other corner where you stitch these. So you're going to go straight across here, and you're going to cut. So we're going to go here to here on these corners. Line it up with the corners. Take your rotary cutter, cut down that. And then we're going to turn it, and then we're going to cut here. And then we're going to cut that one here again. So let's go ahead and cut the other one, and we'll come back to this square. We will come back to this square because we might have some fun. We might have some fun on this one. So like I said, this is 2 10-inch squares sandwiched together, stitched all the way around. And then we're taking our ruler and we're going corner to corner. We're going corner to corner on this from your stitching corner. And then you're going to take and cut all the way across. We're going to turn it, and then we're going to cut all the way across again. We're going to turn it and cut all the way across again here. Okay. I'm loving the rotary cutter, y'all. The rotary cutter is fun. Okay, so I'm going to turn you guys up here. All right, here we go. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so now what we're going to do, so we have these cut up squares. So what happens is you end up with 2 triangles. But the thing is we can do so many different things with it. Oh my gosh, thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. So what we can do is we can take and make something fun with these. I'm loving the print, right? I have a couple ideas. Let's get these pressed. Let's get these pressed so we can do something fun with these. All right, so I'm going to put that down right there like that. So we're going to press these like this. They press out so pretty. So pretty. But I'm thinking there's a couple ideas. So 10-inch square. So these are 10-inch square. Oh, after you cut. So after you cut, let's measure this because this is what it turns out to be. Let's measure this right quick before, where's my measuring tape? Here's my measuring tape. So it turns out to be a about a 12.5 inch square. Turns out to be about 12.5 inches. 12.5 inches, so. It's a good size square. It's a good size square. We're going to press that one. We're going to press all 4 of these. And we're going to press the other one too because I have an idea. I have an idea. We'll see how it turns. We'll see how it turns out. Oh, this one? Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. So this square is about a 7 inch, little under, it's about 6 3/4, about 6 3/4, ma'am. So we're going to lay this one out, and like I said, we're going to press because we did 2 of these here. We did 2 of these. Let's go ahead and press these red ones too, because I'm thinking we can join these together. I'm thinking we can join these together, and it might be fun. Might be fun because it's kind of the fun. Oh my gosh. Look at that fabric, y'all. Look at that fabric. Good morning. Good morning. I'm really loving this fabric, y'all. That is such fun fabric. Fun, fun. Because I'm thinking what we can do is we could put these together and add blue and red. I don't know. I'm going to let y'all choose. Y'all get to choose what the quilt square we do. So we'll do a few options, kind of like we did last time on there. We'll do a few options here. We got a couple more here. We'll get these pressed. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this fabric. This is a fun fabric. We're going to have some fun with this here. Got one more here. So now we'll have, thanks for the follows, y'all. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the gifts. Thanks for the taps. You guys are all awesome. We're already at 11K this morning on the hearts, on the taps. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Okay, so now we've done two 10-inch squares. We did, let me come up this way. So we did two 10-inch squares. The last two 10-inch squares we did this square and we did this square from the two 10-inch squares. Let's see what we can do with this, because we're going to coordinate the two squares together and see what we can come up with. We're going to see what we can come up with here. So let me move you guys down. So I have a couple ideas. So we could actually take this square here, this square here, and then we're going to take that red one here and take the green one here. So look at that. I'm going to try this with some t-shirts of my, oh yeah, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So that one turned out cool. We could turn it, just taking one turn, guys. Just take one turn of the fabric and it ends up turning it to a different square. It turns it to a different square. So that one's kind of cool too. Or we could take and do, we could do all red. We could do it all red, guys. This is another square. Oh, we didn't do this one last time. We didn't do this one last time. That one's kind of cool too. I'm thinking, right? Isn't that cool? So I'm thinking, I think I like the mixed together. What do you guys think? Do you want the mixed together or one of the color or one of the color? Because that turns out, whoops, the fan blew it off. Mixed. I think I'm with you. Let's do mixed. So we're going to do two of these. So which ones do we want to do? Because we could do, how do we want to do this one? I think this way. Do we want to do this one? Because we have two of them that we can do. Mix, but different directions. Okay. So if we do, so we do that one that way, this one this way, that one that way, that one this way, that way. No, that didn't work either. No. This is not working out very well, y'all. So that one ended up another pinwheel. The color, oh, the colorful square in the middle. Okay, so we want to go boom, 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 boom. Like this. Okay, so we'll do that one. So let's clip that one. We have one more to do, guys. We have one more to do because we get to do two of these. We get to do two of these. So let's clip these together here. So like I said, I put two clips on this side, two clips on this side, and the sides that join right here, because you need to be able to remember which sides join, because sometimes I forget and then I end up sewing together wrong. I just put one clip on this side and one clip on this side, so I remember which two sides to join once we sew the other side. And then I'll add 2 clips on this side. So we'll grab here and here. Okay, so that one, we'll do that one. What about the other one, guys? What are we going to do on the other one? Do the parallel bars. Okay, we can do the parallel bars. I'm with you. I kind of like the parallel bars. I'm kind of liking the parallel bars too. So there, we'll come here. I think it's that one. I gotta remember which way to go here. Like that. I kind of like that one. I kind of like that one too. Are we good with this one? Okay. I think this is cool. So okay, cool. We've officially made 4 different squares, y'all. We've officially made 4 different squares. So we're going to sandwich this together like this. And like I said, what I do is I take and I'll put 2 clips on top where you're going to actually sew this. And then I do 1 clip here, 1 clip here. That way I remember where to join them. No, these are not batiks. These are, I got these at the quilt shop the other day. This is what these squares are. They're a lot of fun. So if y'all want to take a screenshot of that, that way you can have that. Right? Yeah, so these were on sale. So this is Robert Kaufman. These are made by Robert Kaufman. So I love Robert Kaufman. Yeah. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have these sandwiched. So we're going to put 2 clips on the side that we're going to stitch. We're going to put 2 clips on the side we're going to stitch. And I'm going to put 1 clip on this side. That way I remember which side we're sandwiching together after the fact. So then we line these up. We're going to put 2 clips on top. 2 clips on top here. And then we're going to put 1 clip on this side. That way we remember, like I said, you have the 2 clips here, so we're going to stitch down here, but you want to make sure and put a clip here and a clip here. That way you know. Oh, how fun. I love Riley Blake. That is gorgeous stuff. I don't know. If y'all want to look at some awesome fabric for a really good price, check out Marshall Dry Goods, y'all. You got to buy, I have a business license, so I actually can buy the what do you call it? Buy it in bulk. So if you have a license that you can use or whatever, sign up for it, because you can get like 200, you got to buy 200 yards. I think it's 200 yards. I can't remember how much you buy. But anyways, and you pay, I don't know, usually between like $1.50, $2 to about $4 a yard. Oh my gosh. And we're usually, because you can get batiks this way, y'all. You can get batiks this way. Works out really well. So anyways, okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to sew all the way across here. And we're just going to sew in a line. And that way we'll be able to join them all. And remember, the 1 clip is where you're going to join them. The 2 clips is where you're going to sew them down. So let's go ahead and get these sewed down here. And remember, the flat side of these clips goes to your machine. Flat side of these clips goes to your machine there. I took the 1 clip off before I realized it, and I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so we're sewing down this side. Like I said, I have 1 clip on the other side. That way we know where to join them. That way we know where to join them. Because what happens if I don't put the 2 in the 1, I'll get it over to my sewing machine, and by the time I get to like, because sometimes I'll do like 10 squares at one time. And by the time I get to them, I'm like, which way is this supposed to go? I don't remember which way this is supposed to stitch. So this saves me. The clips save me on there. So we're going to clip that off. We're going to clip these. So this one and this one go together. And then this one and this one go together. And let me turn you guys here for a minute. That way I'll explain. Because like I said, we stitched the one side, but then I have these clips. That way on the clips, we remember how they stitch together. So what we're going to do, because we know that we're going to sandwich these together this way. So what we'll do is we'll take this clip off. We'll fold it open here. And then I'm going to take this clip, and I know it's going to go this way like this. And then I'm going to sandwich those together like that. Sandwich these together like this. Kind of line up those center ones. And what I usually do is turn fold one way and turn the fold the other way. And on that fold, you could just put a clip there. That way it kind of lines up. That way it kind of lines up. Then we'll clip on these on each end here. You could trim these off if you wanted, but it can just go into your seam. It can just go into your seam. Okay, so we have that one. So then we'll go ahead and do the same thing on this one. And again, you have your one clip. That way you know where to sandwich it. That way you know where to sandwich it. Marshall Dry Goods is awesome, guys. Google Marshall Dry Goods. So you sandwich these together. That panel, the baby panel that I did yesterday, is from Marshall Dry Goods. That one is a Marshall Dry Goods baby panel. Okay, so we're going to open this one up. And then we have this other clip. That way we know exactly which one's going to go there. So we're going to open that one up. And then we're going to push that one there. And then, like I said, you press one seam one way on one side and the other one the other way on the other side. And then put a clip here. And then we'll clip on both sides. Sorry if I missed comments, guys. Sorry if I missed comments. So we're going to clip on this side too. Like I said, I have another quilt square that I'm going to show y'all after this one. So you're going to enjoy the next one too. You're going to enjoy the next one too. Okay, so now we're going to stitch down here. And I use the width of the foot, y'all. I just use the width of the foot for clipping. Just the width of the foot. Did I say for clipping? I mean for sewing. Oh my gosh. Is it Friday yet, y'all? Is it Friday yet? Friday'd be nice. We're just going to go ahead and stitch down this one too. We're going to go ahead and stitch down this one too. We're just going to do both. So a lot of times when I'm doing like a quilt or something, I will get all the squares ready. Make sure that I have that line. Yeah, I do. Make sure I have all the squares ready and then just do chain stitching, y'all. You just do chain stitching. So get this one stitched. Come out there. Doom, da doom, da doom. All right. We will go back to the table. Like I said, once we get these all pressed out, I'll show you all these and we're going to do another one. The other one has been my go-to for years. So I learned how to do this one, gosh, I don't even remember how long ago. I wish it was Friday. Oh, sure, I can do that. I can explain that one again for you. And then also, just as an FYI, I do repost all my lives to my YT page. I repost all my lives to my YT page. Cancel. So what I do on the seams, here, let me show you on this one here. So on the seams, what I do is I press one this way and then one this way. So you'll see that one is pressed over this way, one is pressed over that way when you sew them together. I do not have a foot. No, I don't have a foot pedal. I don't use a foot pedal. I haven't used a foot pedal for years. I just push and start the bot. You're very welcome. You are very welcome. I just do the start and stop on the machine. You can choose the speed that you want on there, and it makes it really well. Makes it really well. Is that okay? So here is this one. That one turned out cool. We'll get these pressed, and then here is this one. Y'all, we did all this from 2 10-inch squares, and fairly easy, right? These are fairly easy. Fairly easy. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press these. We are going to press these here. That way we can get these all pressed. And then we'll look at all 4 because we have done 4 different squares, y'all. 4 different squares from 2 10-inch squares. This is phenomenal. How cool is this? Makes me want to go do another quilt. Yeah. I like the start, and a lot of your machines have that start, and it doesn't have to, I mean, mine are embroidery machines, but it doesn't have to be an embroidery machine to have it. The majority of them, you do have to have your presser foot unplugged, because then the start and stop doesn't work if you don't have the presser foot unplugged. So, but I really don't have room to have the feet or the foot pedal in my camper. So, like I said, I'm in a fifth wheel camper here, y'all. I'm in a fifth wheel camper. So, no, no, you don't have to interface them. This is just cotton. This is just cotton. You don't have to interface it. This is the same as piecing. This is the same as piecing, because what you would do is you would piece these together, add your batting and your backing, quilt them. So, all right. So there's that one. So let's go ahead and get this one pressed. And I'm going to show y'all all 4 that we just did. I am going to show y'all all 4 that we just did here. I'm really liking this one. I am really liking this one here, guys. This one's fun. This is a fun one. I'm thinking I'm going to make some trivets out of these. Make some trivets out of these. Okay, let's get this one pressed. And y'all, I'm excited. I am so excited. We literally have just made 4 different squares. We made 4 different squares. Okay, so we have Best Press. I have Best Press. I like the Best Press. I have been using it now for a couple of years because I found it. Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't help myself. I don't know. All right, so we have this square that we've just made. We have this square that we just made. Good morning, good morning. That one is just cute. Good morning, good morning. It's just so sweet. He's just the cutest thing. You got to say hi and wave to him. Then we have that one. And then we have made this one. Y'all, 4 different squares. We just made 4 different squares from 2 10-inch squares. How cool is, do not apologize. You are welcome to ask as many questions as you want. Please ask all the questions you want. I love answering and helping y'all out. That is what I'm here for. That is what I'm here for. So, okay. So we have, I'll show y'all again, and then we're going to move on to the next one. I love my cordless iron. Like I said, living in a small space, you got to figure out how to consolidate things and how to make it work for this. The rhombus style, using the whole layer cake with black grunge as a thread. Oh my gosh, that would be gorgeous. That would be gorgeous. That would be gorgeous. Well, thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. Okay, so we have this one. Like I said, I'm going to show y'all again. So we have this one. And y'all, check this out. What if you did like these 2 together throughout a quilt? Would that not be cool if you did these 2 together without a quilt? And you would end up with a really cool 3 different designs. You would end up with like 3 different designs in there. Be cool. It would be cool. So we had these 2 on that one. I quilted my camper as well. Awesome, Sandra. Awesome. Y'all, toy hauler's mine. My husband, we upgraded our camper for a toy hauler. I love the toy hauler is mine. The toy hauler is my space, y'all. So then we had this square, and then we had this square. And then if we sandwiched those together and made a quilt, look at that, guys. Is that not awesome? So, like I said, you could easily make a really quick quilt with 10-inch squares. Really quick quilt with 10-inch squares. And we just did 4 different ones. It was awesome, awesome. So, thank you. Good morning. Good morning. All right. So now we are going to do a quilt square. Let me make sure I can find my square, because this one is called, okay, this is called an X block. If you Google X block, you can actually get this this die off of Amazon. You can find this die on there. This is a 7.5-inch X block, X dash block. you'll be able to find it. So we're going to have some fun with this, y'all. This is literally what my go-to square is. If I've got one that I got to whip out really, really quick. So what we got to do is we got to cut. Let's see if I find doom. Because we got to cut 3.5 inch or 3 3/4 inch strips. 3 3/4 inch strips. Where is my? Because I have a die that has, and of course I can't find it. And I guess we're just going to have to measure this out. We're going to have to measure this out. So what I'm going to do is, and you want, let's see what we can find here. We're going to cut, and you need 3 strips. So what I do, so you need 3 strips. So you're going to sew 3 of the 3 3/4 inch strips together on this. So X dash block, yes, X dash block. So, so I need that one. Let's see what else I got here. I picked these up the other day from the quilt shop. It's like do more on your stash. Let's see. I was hoping that I had enough to do. Because what you do is you want 2 of one and 1 of the other. You want 2 of the one, and I think we're going to do this because we have 2 reds. We're going to take those 2 reds. How about we add green? Green and red go together pretty well. So we're going to do that. But we want to do, that's going to make a few, so that'll make, I think it makes like 4. How about we do peach? Hold on, guys. They had these like stash ones to collect. Oh, there's a dark blue. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the 2 dark blues and the peach together. That would work, right? The 2 dark blues and the peach. Okay. We figured it out. I figured it out. We figured it out. Whatever. We're here. We're a team here, guys. We are a team. So now what we're going to do, I need to cut 3 3/4 inch strips here, y'all. I need to cut 3 3/4 inch strips. So we are going to, and I have marks. It's kind of funny. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so I have marks that show what, so 1, 2, 3 3/4. So I marked it with fingernail polish. That tells you how much I make these. That'll tell you how much I make these. So what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to fold this in half because, like I said, I'm limited on space here, y'all. Limited on space. So I'm going to put this here. We just got to, give me a few minutes here because we're going to cut these. Because you need 3 3/4. There's 3/4. And on your ruler, you can see it too. Oh my gosh. That thing cuts so smooth now. So 3 3/4. And I'll keep this for scraps, y'all. I'll keep that for scraps. So here's my other piece. 3 3/4. Like I said, these are called an X block. This is an X block. I have been making an X block for years, y'all. And then I think we decided green is going in this one. Green is going in this one. We're going to cut 2 different ones here. We'll cut 2 different ones. That way y'all can see, because there's a few different ways, kind of like the one way we just did. Kind of like the one we just did. And y'all, a rotary mat on this one is a lifesaver. So this one is good. So I'm thinking, so whatever, so just know that because you have a center, like it's going to be like a diamond kind of. And whatever you want in that center, you need to put that color of fabric on the edge. Yes, this is a fun square, y'all. This is a fun square. I promise you, once you see this square, you're going to get you that X block. You're going to get you that X block. So we're going to take this. Yeah. This is kind of fun fabric. It looks like it's got spider webs on it, kind of. If you see it up close, look at that. It's kind of like spider webs, I think. Kind of like spider webs. Okay. Like I said, we're keeping this scrap fabric. We may do something with that. We may do something with that. So we're going to line this up. It's funny, for the longest time, I'd ask my husband, what the heck is 3/4? What is 3/4? He's always laughing at me. He's my math guy. He is my math guy. Makes it a lot easier when it's, you know, you do a half or an inch, but then you got to go add 1/4 or you got to go add 3/4. And I'm like, really? Can't you just make it normal? Can't you just make it normal? So I'm cutting these 3 3/4 inches, y'all. 3 3/4 inches. If y'all get that, that template die, that ruler, you'll be able to make this quilt. You'll be able to make this quilt. And it literally, y'all, this is like a go-to quilt. This is, if somebody asks for like a baby quilt, a lap quilt, and they want it done in a day or two, y'all, you can do it. Because this one whips together really, really quick. I mean, you could also do the 2 10-inch squares that we just did also. Because those 2 10-inch squares also do the same thing. So what we're doing is we're taking and cutting 3 3/4 inch strips of, you usually do 2 of the same and then 1 different. 2 of the same and then 1 different. So what we're doing, and then on the fabrics between half and full, right? I know, you know, almost full tank of gas, right? So what we're going to do is, so we have 2 dark blues, and then we're going to do peach. So like I said, whatever you want in that center, because you're going to have a centerpiece here, and we can there's kind of different ways that you can do this one also. But whatever you want in that center, we're going to sew these strips together. So you're going to have 3 strips sewed together. Whatever you want in that center, you want that on the outside. You want to make sure that that gets sewed on that outside. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we'll sew these 3 together, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to sew that green on the outside too. So that's a good idea too, Miss Cynthia. That is a good idea too. So we're going to go over to the sewing machine right quick, and we're going to stitch these up. We are going to stitch these up. This is fun. I love doing quilt squares. You know what? The heck with work. Who wants to work, y'all? Man, yesterday was crazy at work. We ended up actually doing working and having to, do you ever, absolutely we do quilt as you go. Hold on, let me show you something. We did a class, we did a live on quilting as you go. Is that not fun? We did placemats as quilt as you go. Lots of fun. We can do another live on that too if y'all want. We can do another live on that if you like. We can have some fun with that. We can have some fun with that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to, thank you. We're going to take these, and these are batik fabrics. And somebody told me the other day, thanks for the follows. Somebody told me the other day to figure out if it's a batik fabric. If it's same on both sides, it's batik. If it's not same on both sides, then it's not a batik fabric. I didn't realize that. See, the things we learn. The things we learn. Y'all share with me too. So then we go. So we're going to sandwich these together like this. And we're going to sew a strip. We're going to sew these down. So we'll sew down this seam, and then we'll take it off, and then we're going to add this to the side. Like I said, the square that you want, whatever color you want in that middle, you want it on the outside edge. You want to make sure that it goes on that outside edge, because if you have it in the middle, it's not going to be in the middle. Well, yeah, anyways, you'll figure it out once we get to going here. So let's go ahead and sew these strips. we'll go ahead and sew these strips up here. Ma used to like to sew strips. She goes, I'll sew all the strips for you. She liked to sew the strips. And like I said, to do like a lap quilt, you need 9 of these. You'll need 9 of these to do a lap quilt, y'all. That's kind of what I figured out. 9 of these make a lap quilt. So you'd need 9 sets of 3 of these strips. Because one of these makes a square. You'll be able to cut 4 of these out of there. I just noticed there's like hearts on that fabric right there. We're going to sew this one together here. Once we get this sewed, make sure we're lined up here. We will add that green strip here. This was perfect fabric to do this with. I love batiks, y'all. So if you're in Arizona, check out Mole Queens. Mole Queens is awesome. So now what we're going to do, it's the width of the fabric. So you take, you know how your fabric is folded? You take, it's the width of that fabric right there. So we're going to have two strips sewed together here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this other strips, and if it's not batiks, you take your right sides together. You're sewing right sides together here. And you're going to sew that on your other side here. So the strips are 3 3/4 inches. 3 3/4 inches. And what I do is I cut on the fold. So you know how your fabric is folded like this? So you have your fabric when you get it from the quilt store and it's folded like this. I cut on the fold. So I'll just cut the strips 3 3/4 inches on each of these. So, and this is a 7.5 inch X block die. 7.5 inch X block die. I'll show y'all a link once we get done with these. That way you can see. So we're going to sew. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So we are going to sew these together. And I just use the width of my foot here. I just use the width of my foot. That's pretty much what I do. I am not a perfectionist, y'all. I am not a perfectionist. I figure quilts, that's what makes a quilt. They are not perfect. They're not made in a, what do you call it, shop. I think I have a skunk outside. I smell a skunk. The other day a skunk, or a javelina, had turned over a trash can on the road out here, and that was a big javelina too. We have javelinas, we've got skunks. I live in Arizona, so you have all these different wildlife. We've got the coyotes out here too. I guess there's some mountain lions that have been in the area too, so you just never know what you might end up with. So we're gonna get these stitched together, and I'm gonna show y'all how you have to press these open. You have to press the seams open on these. It's just the instructions on these. If you don't press them open, they won't cut out correctly. They won't cut out correctly, y'all. This is gonna be pretty. I like red and green. Red and green is pretty. Okay, so we have, yeah, a little scary. Okay, so now we have all 3 of these sewed together. Let's go ahead and sew the other 3 together, and I'll show you how we're going to press those. I'll show you how we're going to press them. So we're going to sew the 2 blue together. You'll sew these 2. I do not have any pets. I do not have any pets. We're gone for 10 to 12 hours a day, and it's just not fair to the pets. When Ma was alive, she passed in October, but when she was alive, we had a small dog, and Pixie, she was Pixie. She was a little puggle. We'd had her for, gosh, 13 years. And the Pixie passed away. 2 weeks later, my mom passed. I think it was really weird. But anyways, I also had a little small Trigger. He was a little small rescue dog that I had gotten from the animal control. And he would hang out with Ma and Pixie. And when Ma passed, I had to put him in the kennel for the day. Well, he started he would try to get out of the kennel, and he was like ripping his nose off. So he's now with my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and they are spoiling that dog rotten. Oh my gosh, they have like sweaters for him, boots for him, all these. He's just spoiled rotten. So thanks, Vilma. So I miss Ma, but she hangs out with us here. She hangs out with us. I have a wind chime in here that somebody had gotten me when she passed, and every once in a while that wind chime goes off, and it's her saying hi, because I've jumped up and down in this thing trying to make it go off, and I can't make it go off. So I decided it's her saying hi. So yeah, Trigger was cool. Trigger was cool. My husband came up with that name, Jen. He was a cool little dog. Well, he's still a cool little dog. He's at, like I said, he's at my mother-in-law's. So we're taking and sewing these two strips together, right sides together on there, right sides together. This is the same fabric as that. Is this the same fabric I showed you? Yeah, I think it is. It's like a dark blue with that. It looks like spider webs. Almost looks like spider webs here. It's kind of cool. And then we will sew that peach. And that one, I don't think that one is, yeah, that one's not batiks. That one is not batiks there. So we'll sew this one down, and then we'll make sure, and I'll show y'all on the next one, because we'll have to make sure that because I've sewed these backwards. I've sewed these backwards, and then you have seams on both sides, and then you end up seam ripping. I tell you, you're not sewing if you're not seam ripping, y'all. That thing can be your friend or your enemy. You're just, it's like, no, stop. I don't want to seam rip anymore today. I don't want to seam rip anymore today. I don't know what I did with my other. Sometimes I lose my sewing things, and it's like, where'd you go? Okay, so here we go. So we have these two strips sewed together. Like I said, once we get these done, we'll go and press them, and I'll show y'all. Oh, so the little pieces of fabric, I used to run, I was like I'm IT, I'm a director of IT. But back in the day, I worked at a resort, and I worked in IT, and I ran all the presentations, all the retreats, anything like that. And they had a quilting retreat that went there. And one of the ladies that came and did a quilting retreat, she was explaining, she goes, she starts and stops with a little piece of fabric. She goes, it just makes the stitch, because you know how when you start off stitching, it tries to tie or whatever, and sometimes it ends up messing up and you're having to rethread your machine. She said this way you don't have to do that, and plus it saves thread. It saves thread on you when you're doing that, because when you're stitching, you're just clipping that one side right there. So I usually start and stop with a little piece of fabric. I don't know. It's just something she had showed me, and I was like, okay, it works for me. So we have these stitched together. So you have your seam back here. You're very welcome, Sue. So you have your seam back here, and then you have these two sewed together. So then you want to take this piece of fabric. Like I said, the one you want in the middle is the one you want on the edge. So on this one right here, oh, this is a batik. This one is also batik. So what we're going to do is we're going to sandwich right sides together. You want to make sure you sandwich the right sides together from here. So you place it right here like this with the seam right here, and then make sure your open seam is on the back. That way you're not stitching it to the wrong side, which I have totally done. I have totally done that one. So we'll get this one stitched, and then I'll show y'all how we press them. Because like I said, you have to press these a certain way. If you don't, they don't cut out very well. I have a good friend of mine that showed me how to do these X boxes, which is kind of fun. Sew these together right here like this. And I just kind of keep them, You are more than welcome to pin these. I just kind of line it up and then just keep stitching. So see, there I go again. Just keep stitching. Just keep stitching. I know sometimes people do the pins or the clips on every single one they do, but it seems like it takes a long time to do that. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'll just line them up, and when I get them all lined up, we'll do the, let's see, makes it stitch together just fine. So we'll get that one. We're almost to the edge, and we'll go back to the pressing mat. And you have to iron these. You have to iron these. You do not want to cut them out without ironing. This is a must on this one. Some things that, you know, you're like, oh, I don't have to iron that. It'll be okay. This one is one of those things that you have to iron, y'all. This one you have to iron. Okay, back to the pressing mat. And this is called an X block, y'all. This one is called an X block. I'm going to turn this iron back on here. And let me show you, because I think I have it in my Amazon cart. Hold on. Let me go to my Amazon cart, because I want to show you this template while my iron heats up right quick. I'm going to show you this template because I had put it in my cart for y'all to see. And $21 on there. So let me flip you guys around. Flip the camera. So this is what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for. The X block 7.5 inch. It's a 7.5 inch X block. So this is the one that I'm using, is this right here. That is the one that we're using. So that way you guys can see it. Okay, so let me put you guys up there. We're going to get the pressing mat out. Cancel. Get the pressing mat out. And we're going to press these open. They said you have to press these. It's one of those ones that you do have to press. So what you do on these you want to press those seams open. You have to press. So you're going to open those seams like this, and you're going to actually press those seams open as you're pressing. So let's go ahead. Lower you guys here. So you lay it out this way. Press that right there. So then you press that open like that. And a lot of times if you press it open, just keep going down. Your machine, the nose of your iron. And what I do is I do both of them at the same time. I try to do both sides at the same time there. Move my mouse. Like I said, you press that open like this. Then you take your iron and see, just kind of move it like this, and it'll kind of press that seam open as you go. It'll press that seam open as you go. Just a little trick that I learned. Just a little trick that I learned. And I just fold it like that. Sometimes the limited space. Sometimes the limited space, y'all. Okay. So we're going to press that. So we just keep going to the end of the piece of fabric here. And then we'll move it, and I'll show y'all how you cut these. There's a little trick on cutting these. I just keep folding that down as you go. If you have an ironing, what do you call it? Ironing board. If you have an ironing board, that works great. I do have my grandmother's ironing board, but y'all, I ain't got room for it. I don't have... I have. Absolutely, Sue. I get fabric from everywhere. I'm not picky. I'm not picky. Whatever I can get a good discount at. Wherever I can get a good discount at is where I usually get it. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Okay, so we get these pressed. Like I said, you're pressing those seams open. You have to press your seams open on this one. You have to press them open. So Like I said, you have them pressed open there. See how those are pressed open? Okay, so let's go ahead. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Let's go ahead and press these. We're going to go ahead and press these ones. Once we get these pressed, we will go ahead and press, or go ahead and get the cutting mat out, and I'll show you guys how we cut these. Like I said, this is called an X block. The template is a 7.5 inch template there. So, and I'll show y'all again before we move on there. So like I said, you're going to open these seams like this, open the seams like this, and you're going to take that iron. Can you show how to stitch a A-line dress? I don't make clothes. I would love to help you on that one, but I don't make clothes. I am sorry. I'm sorry. I can do a lot of things, but I am not a seamstress on there. I apologize. I'd love to help you on that one. Okay, so there's that one. So then we have this one here. They said you're opening your seams. And when you open your seams, you're welcome. Ask me all kinds of things, and I'm more than willing to help you, but clothes aren't one of them. I apologize. So you're going to press that seam open, and as you see, you kind of move your iron like this. And you have the nose of your iron like that. And as you go like this and kind of just move it back and forth, it'll open that seam as it goes. It'll open that seam as it goes there. So we're going to fold this like this. If you have an ironing board, the ironing board, sometimes you can just lay that whole thing out on your ironing board. Thanks for the share. So we're going to press this open. Once we get this pressed open, we're going to get that cutting mat out. And I'm going to show y'all how to cut these. Because you're going to cut them on an angle. It's going to be cut on an angle. And press that open. And you're going to see why I say press those seams open when we get that template out. And these are 3 3/4 inch strips. Yes, a cordless iron. I love my cordless iron. The cordless iron is awesome. So then we move this. I said, you're opening that seam, and you're just moving the front of that back and forth. You see how it goes back and forth. It just keeps opening the seam as it pushes it across. So, and I just fold this way, back a little bit. And then we'll get these pressed. And I'm using a wool pressing mat. I love my wool pressing mat, y'all. Okay. So those are all pressed. And don't worry, we'll be pressing again. It'll happen. We'll be pressing again. So this is where this rotary mat comes into play, y'all. This is where the rotary mat comes into play. So I have gripper tape on the back of it. So it's like, I forget what this tape is called, but anyways, it grips the fabric so it doesn't move. But as you see on the front of this, I have the lines drawn. What I did is I took and cut a piece of plexiglass. That way I had a second one, just in case. That way I have them at wherever I'm at. So plexiglass, and then you draw just for your personal use. You can't go and do that in surgical tape. Yes. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this strip. So you have this strip like this. You have the 3 strips sewed together. Like I said, this strip right here is the one that's going to be in the middle. Well, either one of these could go in the middle. So what we're going to do is you're going to take this square, and you see how they have the lines? You're going to line those lines up with your strips. So you have that center strip, and sometimes it doesn't exactly match, but it's okay. That's okay. Let me flip this around so that way you can see. Are you planning to make Christmas projects? Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll have some fun with Christmas projects. Whatever you guys want. I am game for whatever. So you see how that lines up there? You just kind of center it in the middle of that. You center it in the middle of that lines. So, and as we go down, you'll see how this works. You'll see how it works there, y'all. I'm going to flip that back around there. So we're going to go here. So this is where this the rotary thing comes out. So you hold this down. You want to keep this stabilized. You want to make sure that you have something on the back of that template that makes it not move. You don't want it moving on the fabric. So what you're going to do is you're going to come here. You're going to cut this side here. You're going to turn that mat, cut it there. And if you don't have a mat to be able to turn, that's all right. What I do is I put it on a table and then I walk circles around the table. Usually I had a circle kitchen mat, kitchen table, and it worked out really well. So then we're going to turn it this way. And on this bottom one right here, you cut right to the edge. You cut right to the edge right there. Flip this over, and then you turn it. And then you cut that one right there. You want to make sure not to cut your other piece of fabric there. Come on. Okay. So now we've cut our square. That alone is a cool square. That alone is a cool square. So, but what we're going to do is I'll show y'all. This is where it gets easy. This is where it gets easy. So we've just cut that square here. You just keep going down. You just keep going down the strip. So we're going to line that up. And then what happens is you cut that triangle and then turn it. You cut that triangle. You're going to turn it again. And like I said, on this one, you cut right to the edge. Move it over and cut that. This is where that the mat comes into play. Like I said, this is a Martelli mat, but there's all kinds of different mats out there. You don't have to buy Martelli. I just was at a quilting retreat that Martelli was at and got a really good deal. So I've had this rotary mat for quite some time. So I have the rotary mat, and the cutting table is a Martelli cutting table too. So like I said, you line up that center strip is where you're lining that ruler up. You're lining that ruler up there. So we're going to keep cutting, and we're going to have these triangles. We can have some fun and make our own pieces of fabric. So isn't that cool? Isn't this cool? So like I said, I think you get about 4 or 5 little squares off of one strip. 4 or 5 squares off of one strip. So we'll get these cut, and I think we might be able to get, I don't know, we've already got 3. Let's see how many we get here. We'll see how many we get. Depending on how wide your fabric is depending on how many strips you'll get. Because you know how some of your fabric is wider than other your fabrics? Sometimes you get different ones there. That one. So now we'll get one more square here, guys. One more square. Is that not awesome? So we'll line that up. I said you're just kind of centering that center strip there. Just centering that center strip. So we go there. On the last one, you just go back this way. Okay. So let's go ahead and cut the other one. Once we get the other one cut, I'm going to show y'all how these come out. Again, you have your 3-inch strips, or 3 3/4 inch strips. 3 3/4. They got to be 3 3/4. We've sewed them together. You put the one on the edge that you want in the center, and then you press these seams. You press them open. You see how those seams are pressed open? Then we're going to lay them out here. You're going to lay them out here, and then you're going to take this square. You're going to take this square, and you see how the lines are kind of crooked? The lines are kind of crooked. But what you're going to do is you're going to turn it like this, and you're going to line up that center strip that you've sewn. We're going to line up that center strip that you've sewn. And on the first one, you'll see, I'm going to show y'all. On that first one here, 1/4 inch seams. Yes, 1/4 inch seams. We're going to flip this around. So right there at the edge, you want to put that corner right there at the edge on this. And you see how you're just more or less centering it in there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to line up perfect, but you just want to center that center strip right in there. And you have the template is turned kind of corner, or catty. I'm going to say catty-wonky. Is that a word? I'm making up words, y'all. I'm making up words. So we're going to put that there. So now what we're going to do, so you have the template here. You have that center line centered right in the middle of that middle strip there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut here. cut that one right there. You're cutting little, we're going to make some fun quilt squares with those. So we're going to come on top, we're going to cut that one. And then when you do this one, kind of pick up the other side. Kind of pick up the other side there. And then we're going to cut this one here. Turn it. I'm going to make sure you don't cut that bottom part. We're going to cut that one. So then it ends up a kind of cool square. But wait till you see what this turns into. Wait till you see what it turns into. So as you cut that one, I need a drink of coffee. Hold on. Once you've cut that first square, you have where you see that right there. That's where you're going to line up. That's where you're going to line up that square. So again, you're centering that middle strip there. You're centering that middle strip. 25,000 guys. You guys are awesome. I love all the taps. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to click that one. You're going to turn it, click that one. And like I said, if you don't have a rotary mat, that's okay. Just put it on your table and walk around. Just walk around your table. You can do the exact same thing. Do the exact same thing. I don't have a table I can walk around because, like I said, I'm in a fifth wheel here. So there's that one. So we're going to keep going down this, and you get 5 squares. You get 5 squares from each strip. Like I said, I do 9 strips. If you do 9 strips, you can do a lap quilt out of 9 strips. So if you do 9 sets of these 3 strips, 9 of them, you get a lap quilt. And I'll show y'all what you can do with these, because I have a couple quilts here that my husband got to the point. This is the quilt that I showed him how to make. This is the one that I showed him how to make, was the X block. Because like I said, it's easy. It's really easy to do this. So then once you do this one, why did that mess up? Why did that mess up? Come here. Hopefully that works. I think I may have moved it. That's all right. It just still works. Thanks for the shares, guys. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate you hanging out with me this morning. So you center, like I said again, you have those centers here, and you want, this is where your center strip is that you're lining up. That's where your center strip is that you're lining up there. And then you cut the one side, turn it back the other way. Like I said, you get 5 squares out of your strips here, and you're cutting on the fold of your fabric. That way, when it lays out, you end up with these size of strips here. This one's just, I use on the rotary mat here. So, all right. Now we'll get that pressing mat out, because you guys are going to see how these go together. So, we got so remember how I told you that side strip is the one that's going to go in the middle? The side strip's the one that's going to go in the middle. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay this out. You're going to turn this one this way. You take this one, you're going to turn that one that way. I'm going to grab this other one because that square got messed up. So I'm going to turn this one this way. And then you're going to turn this one this way. Y'all, is that not the coolest thing? How cool is that square? That is the coolest square. So this is literally my go-to quilt. This is literally my go-to quilt, right? And it was fairly easy. You took and sewed 3 3¼ inch strips together, and then you cut the strips out, and look what happened. It makes the coolest square. So again, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these clips. I'm going to take the clips here, and I'm going to fold this way, because you want to make sure that you have it folded this way. And again, I do the exact same thing on these as I did the other one. So you're going to take the 2 clips. Go away there. This is an X block, Amy. This is an X block design. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So again, so we're going to sew across this seam. So what we're going to do is we're going to put 2 clips on the side that we're, oh my gosh, guys, go away. These people want to share the live here. I'm like, no. So now we're going to do is where you're going to sew first, we're putting 2 clips. And remember, take and put 1 clip or a needle on the other side. So we're going to put 1 clip on this side because these 2 sides are the ones that are going to sandwich together this way. So we want to put 2 clips on this side where we're going to sew, 2 clips on this side, and then 1 clip on this side. That way you know exactly where you're sewing. So let's go ahead and see what this other one's going to look like. So this was the red and green. This one was the red and green. And we can do this one 2 different ways. We could have done the other one 2 different ways. So I'm going to show y'all both ways that this one can go together. So we have, because we have kind of different colors here. So we have the green. So now we have, this one turns green. But y'all, we can turn this around. Let's make it red. Let's make this one red. Or we could actually do something fun. Could do it that way. Or we can make it red in the middle. Make it red in the middle instead of green in the middle. Like I said, whatever that outside strip is the one that's going to go in the middle. But I kind of like the green. Y'all like the green? I kind of like the green. You could actually do 3 different strips on here. But I kind of like the green in the middle. Other way, yeah. We want it this way. I think this way's good. So what we're going to do is we're going to sew. We're going to clip these together. So you're going to fold it this way. Fold this one this way. I said I like to fold these on here, and that way we know which way we're going here. So then I take and I clip these 2. Remember, 2 clips on the side you're sewing. And then the side that's going to get sewed together like this, put 1 clip. Put 1 clip there. 2 clips on this side. And this is just something I do. You don't have to do it this way, but it works for me. And that way I don't sew them upside down or backwards or whatever, you know. So we're going to clip these and then 1 clip on this side. So now we'll go over to the sewing machine. And we will get these done. So we'll get these done here. And we'll go back to the sewing machine, y'all. Okay. Whew, I'm sweating. Living in Arizona, it's like hot one day, and it was actually had cooled off for a little bit. And then we had, I think, 1 night of cool, where it was actually cool when I got up. And then, yeah, that didn't last long. That one didn't last long. Okay. So again, so we are going to sew across. Where I have 2 clips, I'm sewing across. And then where I have that 1 clip on the side, that's where I'm going to sandwich together once I have this one sewed. So we're going to come back here like this. Thanks for the follows, y'all. Thank you for the follows. So we're going to take and sew. So 2 of them. See, the 2 clips help you know where you're to sew. And we'll have to go back to the pressing mat once we get these all sewed together. And we'll press these again. But like I said, this is an X block. This one is an X block. I love, it's literally my go-to. It is literally my go-to, guys. I didn't line that one up very well. We're going to line that one up just a little bit better. Just a little bit better there. There we go. And I'll show y'all, once we get these all sewed together, I'll show you the quilt, one of the quilts my husband did. Oops, stop, stop. Up, up. Okay, press that seam open. I'm like, no, do not press that seam open. So again, we have these sewed together. And the nice thing is like I said, you get them sewed together and then you're like, oh my gosh, which sides go together? I don't remember. Well, we don't have to worry about it because we have clips. So we take the clips and I'm going to unclip that one because I know I'm going to sew across this top seam. So I'm going to hold that one open. So then I'm going to take this one. So this is the other one that I'm going to sew because this side is going to connect to that other side. So I'm going to sandwich that together. And then I'm going to fold these seams open like this. So I'm going to fold the seam open, kind of like we just pressed the seam open. I'm going to fold that one open. I'm going to fold this one open like here. And I'm going to clip these. That way we end up sewing these together like that. And we don't have to repress until we get back over to the sewing, press and mat. So I'm going to clip that right here like this. So, because you want to center up that seam. You want to center up that seam and then we'll clip here. And then clip the other one. And I'll show you all of that one again on the other one. So again, you have your two side. Please do. That's what I'm here for, is to help y'all out. That is why I'm here, is to help y'all out. Okay, so you have so we just sewed down this one. Remember, you had two clips here, so we sewed down this one, but then you're like, shoot, I don't know where these are going. Well, we do, because we have the clip. So we take that one off, make sure you know where that one's at, and we open this up. So we open that up, so we're going to stitch across the top here. So now we're going to grab this one, and so we have this one, so this is going to go on that other seam. We're going to take that clip off, open that up, and line it right up there. So this one right here, open that seam up, and then open this seam up, and we're going to line that seam right there in the middle. You want to line that seam up right there in the middle. And I just press those open right there like this. I just finger press those. Just do a finger press on those and put that clip there. Put that clip right there. And then we line this up. And you see it lines up pretty good. Lines up pretty good. Does it have to be perfect? No. And y'all, I've had fun with these. I've added embroideries to the middle of these. You can have so much fun with these. There's so many different things that you could do with these. Like I said, 9 of them will do a lap quilt. 9 of these will do a lap quilt. Okay. So now we're going to stitch these, and then we'll go back to the pressing mat. Okay. So we're going to turn this way. Said I just do the width of the foot here. It's like about 1/4 inch there. So stitch this open. And your seams are pressed open here. Just make sure when you get to the middle there, those seams stay pressed open. Go down here. Stop. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. And then sew this one. Press this one open here. So I've given a few classes on X Blocks, y'all. I have given a few classes on X Blocks, and I'll tell you, it is literally my go-to when I have to do a quick quilt. When I got to do a quick quilt, this is the one I do. This is the one I do. Because I love this design. I just love this design. Like I said, I will show y'all. Thank y'all very much. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the tiny diny. You guys are awesome. Oh my gosh. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to press these, because how we had pressed the seams open. So we want to do the same thing on the back side. We want to press these seams open. So we're going to press these open. There's a lot of ironing on this one, but sometimes ironing could be therapy too, y'all. Sometimes ironing can be therapy too. So we're going to press these open, and I just go across here like this. Like I said, just kind of move the front of your iron. You're just kind of moving like this across the ironing there. And go to the other side. Get this one pressed. And I usually turn it over like this, and I'll spray it. Give it another press. That body. Y'all, is that not gorgeous? Is that not gorgeous? Oh my gosh. I'm excited. I am completely excited because I love these squares. So let's go ahead and press this one. Like I said, I will go grab a quilt. This one my husband made. I know how to iron. Haha. Yeah, right? So this is an X block. It is an X block. Let me show you again. I will show you because I'll show you the die on Amazon here. That way you guys can go get this template. This is an X block. So, and guys, I will repost my lives. I repost my lives on YT. So you guys will be able to go back and do a replay. It usually doesn't get posted till the afternoon because it takes a while for it to process. So once it gets processed, you guys can go get it. And the link's in the bio. If you click the link in my bio, you'll see my YT page, my FB page. If you don't have YT, you can check the FB. Either way, I'm on all of them. So, and if you want, there is a link there for a free bear pattern. We did bears the other day. So if you want the bear pattern, you can grab that bear pattern, go watch the live and see how to make those. That was fun. We did 2 bears in one day. I accidentally sewed the legs on backwards. So I went back and fixed the legs the next morning. So let me get this pressed out, and then we will flip this over. I'll give it a spray. Like I said, I use this best press. Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to help. I like to teach, so this is just fun. This is fun for me. Y'all, I'm a director of IT by day. I run an IT department, so I have a stressful job. So this is my stress relief. This is totally my stress relief, y'all. So check that out. Check that out. Is that not pretty? Hold on. I'm going to go grab a quilt. I'm going to show y'all what you can make with this. So it's funny, the other day I told my husband, because he made this quilt. This is one that he made all on his own. So it was kind of cool. So this one I'll show you. Let me get it. He has this on his chair. He's like, nope. So what he did is, check this out. So you see those X blocks? He uses the X blocks, and then it went around a panel. You added it round a panel, and then it just made it that extra touch to go around the panel. Is that not cool? You can use the X blocks for doing so many different things. So many different things on there. So I was very proud of my husband for making this quilt. Very proud of him for making this quilt. And y'all, he quilted this quilt too. So it was kind of fun. To help you, so I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a little trick. Y'all know the store, the store Harbor Freight, and I know usually you're like, well, that's where my husband goes to buy things. So Harbor Freight has this little thing. It's called a laser, and the laser is what it does is it draws it. You put it on your machine. You'll like stick it to the front of your machine, and it puts a red laser. It'll put a red laser on your machine, and you can keep a straight line and just follow that red laser. It's like, I don't know, it's under 10 bucks, y'all. It is literally under 10 bucks for that red laser. I had put it on my mom's machine because she loved to be able to just follow that laser. So check out Harbor Freight. There's all kinds of things that you can see at Harbor Freight. Okay, so let me show you. I'm going to show you that template again right quick, and then I'll show y'all. You're welcome. I'll show you all the squares that we did. So this is the X block. So this is what you need to make that square that we just made. This is the one that you need to make the square that we just made. And then let me show y'all the squares we did today. I'll show y'all the squares we did today. So we did the 2 X block squares. So you have this one, and then you had this one. I mean, and we could literally put these together too. We could literally put these together. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I'll do something with these. Make a purse. You could totally make a purse with these. I've made purses with these too. You can make all kinds of different things. So then Then we have extra squares too. I may make mug rugs. I may add mug rugs. So then we did 10-inch squares. All we did was we sandwiched 2 10-inch squares together. We sewed all the way around them, and then we cut across this way, folded those out and pressed them. Then check this out, guys. We made this square. We made this square. We made this square. And we made this square. This is a pretty productive morning, y'all. A pretty productive morning. Pretty productive. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I am on Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 in the morning, Arizona time. So Mountain Standard Time. It's currently 6:34 here in the morning. So, and what I do with my lives, I do download them and post them to YT. So if you click the link in my bio, you'll be able to go and see my YT page. Give it a follow. You'll be able to see the instructional videos. Like I said, I did a bear. We did bears. We did bears day before on Tuesday. We did bears on Tuesday. So is that not fun? So I showed y'all how to do the bears. And there's a free bear pattern in the link too. You can grab it and go watch that video and make bears. So go have fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So like I said, I enjoy all of y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I will be back tomorrow. Y'all, tomorrow's rope day. We have fun on rope day. We make so many different things on rope day. So I got to figure out what we're going to do on rope day. Thanks for the follows. Thanks for the follows. So tomorrow's rope day. Come back and join us tomorrow morning. Like I said, I'll be on 4:30 in the morning, Arizona time. You have a good day too. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Love y'all.